Vanakkam, the South Indian is here. The nation is speaking about the cyclone of BJP. That is the kind of victory that is had in North Indian states. Today we're going to talk about a real cyclone. The worries attached to that cyclone. We are going to speak about my beloved state, Tamil Nadu. It was a scary Sunday in several parts of Tamil Nadu, Rayalaseema and also isolated areas in Kerala and coastal Andhra Pradesh as Cyclone Michaung, that's how it's pronounced, apparently raged over the southwest Bay of Bengal, 230 kilometers to the east-southeast of Chennai and 250 kilometers straight to the east of Puducherry. This could result in heavy rains in most parts of Tamil Nadu, southern Andhra Pradesh as well as Odisha. As a result, all schools have been shut in Andhra Pradesh, even as the Tamil Nadu government has declared a public holiday in 4 districts, and that being Chennai, Chengalpattu, Tiruvallur and Kanchipuram, and has also shut all operations at the airport. Those are the visuals of the cyclone Michaung on your screens, as in the rains which are lashing Tamil Nadu. Heavy inundation has of course been reported from low-lying areas in Chennai, and one of the reasons that the schools are shut, it's a public holiday, and also the airport has been shut down. The government and administration has released an advisory for people to stay put home and take all the necessary precautions in the wake of Michaung. The deep depression over Bay of Bengal turned into a severe cyclonic storm. Michaung at 8:30 a.m. on the morning of 4th December, and the storm is expected to make a landfall near Bapatla on the morning of 5th December around 12 p.m. The wind speed is anticipated to reach severe cyclonic levels with a maximum sustained speed of 90 to 100 kilometers, gusting to 110 kilometers per hour. The National Disaster Response Force or NDRF has mobilized 21 teams for rescue and relief operations. The Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba chaired the second National Crisis Management Committee, that is NCMC, meeting on Sunday to assess the readiness of state governments as well as central ministries for the approaching cyclone. Regions including North Coastal Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Coastal Andhra Pradesh, Rayalaseema, Telangana and Odisha are expected to witness varying intensities of rainfall during the cyclonic period. If viewed from the Andhra Pradesh coast, the cyclone lurked at a distance of 350 kilometers southeast of Nellore, 460 kilometers southeast of Bapatla and 480 kilometers southeast of Machilipattanam. It is expected to move to the west central bay by forenoon of Monday and intensify further into a severe cyclone. Earlier, the IMD had upgraded the outlook for Michaung to that of a severe cyclone with maximum sustained wind speeds of 90 to 100 km per hour, gusting to 110 km per hour as it barrels over the south coastal Andhra Pradesh coast between Nellore and Machilipattanam on the morning of Tuesday. Let's Those are the visuals on your screen right now of heavy rains in Chennai and adjoining areas of Chennai. Of course, there is an alert in both Chennai and adjoining areas like Chengalpet and Kanchipuram and Tiruvallur. Look at that water, look at how much water, but then Chennai is known to have tided over even severe cyclones than this, and I am sure that they will tide over even further. Look at those visuals, that is Chennai, vehicles submerged in water, lot of rains, unrelenting rains, and the state as well as the adjoining states of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha also getting ready, but these are tremendous rains, and the rains have been unrelenting for the past week in Chennai, as one understands. Look at that visual, people are gearing up. Of course, schools have been shut, also offices. This is a subway obviously which is now full up, and I think that precautionary and safety measures have also been issued to the general public. Apparently everyone has been asked to stay home, stay safe, work from home, no schools, keep the doors and windows shut, and also preserve their valuables so far as paper is concerned, because you may have some very important documents which you need to really save. So save them. Look at that car, which is, I was wondering if that is actually almost like a ship swimming in water. Yes, look at that. And there is also, of course, swirling waters in Chennai. I can see yet another car far away, and this is another one, which is actually got stuck in the swirling waters of the rains. That is the effect or the impact of Michaung. Let's now listen to some voices on this impending cyclone, and we'll get back to understand the trajectory of this cyclone called Michaung.
See, this as soon as we received the news, the forecast about this depression and deep depression in Bay of Bengal, the first thing was that our Honorable CM conducted a meeting with the district collectors and other state level officers, and it was followed by a detailed meeting by me and the ACS and Commissioner of Revenue Administration. So we sensitize all our senior officers, and also we also assess the requirement of the resources which we may require.
Cyclonic storm Michaung now lies over southwest Bay of Bengal, 330 kilometers southeast direction to the Chennai. And coming hours it will move in northwest direction, reaches to the North Tamil Nadu and South Andhra coast. And it will cross between Machilipattam and Nellore districts around 5th. Due to this system, along the Andhra Pradesh coast as well as North Tamil Nadu coast, wind speed reaching now 45 to 55 western to 65. A gradual increase will be there, near about 80 to 90 gusting, even 100 to 110 kilometers per hour may prevail. Due to this system, today Rayalaseema and South Andhra districts, orange warning will be there, and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow red warnings, means rainfall heavy to very heavy with extremely heavy rainfall also possibility is there.
Let's try and understand the trajectory, the nature and the impact of this cyclone called Michaung. Air Vice Marshal retired G.P. Sharma, who's President of Meteorology and Climate Change SkyMet, is with us. How are you, Mr. Sharma? Great to see you after a long time.
Yes, I'm good. I'm good, Mr. Da. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I just want to ask you this, is this the first cyclone to cross the Andhra Pradesh coast after Cyclone Gulab, if you may recall, which developed in September 2021?
You see, this year, actually, this is the first cyclone to cross the Indian coastline. So there have been from Bay of Bengal. Earlier, three storms, they all went for either Myanmar or Bangladesh. This is the first one in this season. But rightly you said, but there was a, if you remember last year also around this time, there was a storm in the Bay of Bengal, which crossed very close to Chennai. That happened on 9th of December 2022. But fortunately, because of the environmental conditions, because of some wind shear increase and little drop in the temperature, sea temperature, it had just weakened before making a landfall. Okay, deep depression. But still, Mandos, that was the storm last year around this time, which had crossed a similar area, not Andhra Pradesh, but yes, northern parts of Tamil Nadu. Actually, that storm had crossed peninsular India and re-emerged in the Arabian Sea to once again become again a cyclone on the other side of the sea. Okay, so this is the cyclone season. All these combinations, they keep happening. So this is not the only storm, but yes, like rightly you said, after Gulab, we can say that technically this is the storm, but otherwise, as I told you, last year December, we had similar storm in the similar area. Yes.
Mr. Sharma, a lot of people have been asking on social media, particularly people who live in Chennai and also in Telangana, in Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, that why do these things happen only in our region? Can't they be prevented? Maybe they cannot be prevented, but you are the expert. But do you think the damage can be mitigated? So there are two questions is, why is it they feel that it happens more in those areas? Of course, I live in a landlocked place like Delhi, so I don't think that, I am more prone to it. But you are the expert. A, why does it happen? And number two, can the damage be mitigated, or because look at Chennai, today on this platform X, which was earlier called Twitter, a woman wrote to a minister saying that my child doesn't have milk powder. Can you get some milk? Can someone give me some milk powder? My child is crying. So it is a panicky situation in such a modern world where the world has shrunk. So over to you, Mr. Sharma, just explain this, please.
Yes, Mr. Da, these are the genuine problems and the troubles people staying in this geographical region, which you just mentioned. But then you can't fight the nature. They will be there. Storms will be there. You see, we are in this pocket is in the tropics. They are more vulnerable. The storms they form, in any case, they have to come up over the ocean zone. Okay, from there they start the journey. And if you see Indian coastline, long coastline, over 7,000 kilometer coastline, which we have on either side of the coastline, we have the huge, vast oceans, Bay of Bengal on one side and the Arabian Sea on the other side. Okay, these storms, they are frequented more in Bay of Bengal, wherein this storm is there now. And as I said, this is the fourth storm of this season itself, little more than the normal. Okay, the tropics in the over Indian region, basically it depends on the temperature, sea surface temperature. Temperatures more than 27 degrees centigrade Celsius is required for any storm to sustain and grow further. Okay, so these type of temperatures, they are available in this part of the Indian Ocean, this part of the Indian region. Okay, as we go further north, the temperatures generally they drop, so they become more conducive. The other things also, okay, the wind pattern which is required, that is more ideal at this particular location in the South Bay of Bengal and South Andaman Sea at this point of time. That is how they come up. The origin is that. Okay, once the storm they form, yes, then they can go recurve, they can keep moving northwest. So all sorts of tracks are there. They remain very, very suspicious, and the entire Indian coastline, it remains vulnerable to them. Yes.
All right. Also, the landfall. Now they are saying Bapatla, which it will happen on 5th of December, in Bapatla at 12 p.m. The thing is that what is this landfall, and is it that should one be scared of the landfall at all, because it sounds scary, but you and I have always discussed about our readiness also, Mr. Sharma. So, talk about Michaung's landfall, which is expected in Bapatla, sir.
Okay, you see, Michaung, firstly, it has been a little peculiar storm in the sense it has moved parallel to the coastline off the coast of Tamil Nadu. You recall, almost about more than 18 hours it has been there. Chennai has been raining non-stop for nearly about 18 hours now. Record rainfall has already been. And very, very funny track it has followed, that is a parallel to the coastline and still goes on. Okay. Normally the storms you find they meet the coastline head on, and therefore they do not stay for that long in the proximity of the coast. Okay. But then this particular storm, as I said earlier, it's almost going to be 24 hours. Yesterday morning it intensified into a storm. Today morning again it became a severe cyclonic storm. It is continuing the same path, moving more of a northward in the proximity of the coastline, and further the areas of south coastal Andhra Pradesh, they are now vulnerable for this particular storm as such. Okay, as we know, you see the severity of the storm, obviously the torrential rains, the gale speed winds in excess of 100 kilometers per hour, that is associated with this particular storm. We know, like you mentioned, schools have been shut, the transport has been suspended, I think railway service has also been suspended, the airport has been closed till about late night. I think it will be extended also further. So that is what is this storm bringing with as a hazard, and it is likely to continue. Okay, as you said, it is moving towards Andhra Pradesh now. I feel even those areas also, notwithstanding that Chennai is going to continue with inclement weather conditions for the next, I will say, even more than 8 hours. Okay, before a little relief comes. And then it shifts over all along to the coastline, starting from Nellore, Ongole, Kavali, Bapatla, Machilipatnam. So these are the areas which will become very, very vulnerable. Okay, the main storm, that is the cloud overcast dense, which we call it as, that is still hanging around short of Chennai. Actually, it's over and around Chennai at the moment. Okay. So that is how I said it will take about more than 6 to 8 hours. You said what is a landfall? All the storms normally you find, particularly of this severity, associated with some circular sort of a cloud mass.
Right.
The very severe storm, they develop even eye also. Okay.
Yeah, so eye of the storm.
Yeah. So when this circular dense overcast cloud mass nears the coastline, as soon as it starts crossing the coastline, we say the landfall process has been started.
Right.
After that, it takes quite some time. Sometimes it takes about 4, 5, even 6 hours also for the landfall to complete.
Right.
Because moment it starts, the center will go over the coastline and followed by the rear portion. Yes.
Right. Sharma, Mr. Sharma, it's a fact that our readiness has been superb over the years. First of all, our warning systems are in place. Also, we have enough and more, advanced plans that we make. I mean, India has really bettered itself. If you talk about Biparjoy, you talk about Nivar, everything Nivar that we did together, you and I, we have improved over the years. But the point is, today in Chennai, I was trying to make calls to my colleagues in Chennai. The lines are down, the communication is very bad. Like, look at that on your screens right now, so much water. The thing is that a lot of people tend to compare this with what happens, let's say, in America, where there are cyclones in Texas and other places. They say, how come things don't go so wrong there? And how come we are still in an era where everything can be shut down? Light chali gayi, pani nahi hai, Why is that? I mean, do you think we'll have to do better? And this is a generic question for the people who are stuck in Chennai.
We have done a lot. You mentioned that we
Yes.
have definitely bettered ourselves to meet all the
Hanji.
exigencies with the tropical storms because they are the frequent visitors as far as our coastline is concerned, so there is no escape. And if you talk about 20 years back or so, where we used to have a loss of about thousands of life, including more than 10,000 at one time, we have definitely improved and the losses are minimum. Losses of life definitely can be avoided and we have. Material, you can't do much about that and we have to go. Problem is twofold now. One, as far as this storm is concerned, I mentioned earlier, it has spent a lot of time along the coast and
Right.
it still remains in the proximity. So therefore, normally the storms which clear off a particular region within about 5-6 hours, it is not happening in this case. And therefore, the infrastructure which we have is not able to absorb all the miseries which it has brought with, along with. Okay. And secondly, to talk about any major city now, be it Mumbai, be it Chennai, be it any other city, our infrastructure, though has multiplied exponentially. We talk about development, but definitely it is somewhere costing us when these natural storms or the natural disaster
Right.
events, when they happen and come closer, then we find it difficult
Yeah.
that it is getting saturated, okay,
Right.
and
Yeah.
there is no escape.
But
Now,
Mis-
water which has been accumulated because of the storm surge
Yeah.
and so much of coastal inundation, it's not finding any easy exit, okay, because
Right.
of various reasons. So it will
Absolutely.
keep on. My fear is it is going to rise further. The level of this inundation will be rising further over the next about 8 to 10 hours. It's going to become worse. That's what I say.
Oh my God! I mean, but overall, don't you think, Mr. Sharma, that there is nothing to worry. The systems are in place. The people need to just stay indoors and stay safe. I don't think that there is any cause for huge panic at this stage.
There is no reason for any panic as such. The disaster agencies, the relief agencies, they are definitely they are on the job. Okay, the structures which are solid enough, strong enough to bear the severity of this storm, people can stay inside. But then definitely we will have a section of the people who possibly will have to shift to the safe shelters as we do every time when a storm comes. It is always. It's not going to take very long. Still some time is there, particularly over those pockets. We should take these people a little far away from this area. They will have to spend just about 48 hours and come back later because the things will improve then thereafter. Okay, but then definitely you take it as granted all the agencies which are involved. You see, weather agencies, the job is to give us sufficient notice for inclement weather condition of a particular region. Thereafter, the disaster agencies, as and when it strikes, they take over in providing relief, rescue, and later on rehabilitation of all those people. We have definitely used, we don't have any doubt in our mind that there are people who will come to our rescue, who will definitely save us from the miseries of this storm. So rest assured that that will be done. Everything is in place. Yes.
All right. And on that note, thank you very much, sir, for joining us on this broadcast. And as usual, shining light on what exactly does this cyclone mean. Thank you indeed, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those are the visuals as we were discussing with the expert, Mr. G.P. Sharma. These are the visuals of Michaung, the cyclone which is moving from Tamil Nadu to Bapatla in Andhra Pradesh. Visuals, and the expert was saying that maybe the rains will carry on in Chennai for the next 18 hours and people have to brace themselves. He said that it's also that urbanization, and that's why the roads are inundated in such a fashion. If there was not such rapid urbanization, the water would actually go into sewers, would go into canals. But then we've always had this problem in Chennai where water bodies have been covered with buildings, and therefore Chennai gets inundated whenever there are floods. And anyway, the expert said it is located in a zone which is prone to cyclones. Those are the visuals on your screens, fresh visuals of the impending cyclone Michaung on your screens right now. Visuals coming, gustful winds there just now. Those trees, which some of them may be uprooted in a couple of hours from now, even as the wind lashes in Chennai, in and around Chennai, like Chengalpet and Kanchipuram. There you see a vehicle submerged in water. There you see that seems like a petrol pump where a car seems to have submerged. Also, we had visuals of a subway where a car was actually swimming. Look at that bus. So those are the visuals, general visual of heavy rains in Chennai because of the impending cyclone Michaung. Understand how to be safe during the cyclone. Constant checks should be kept on weather updates. Now we are all wired up, we are all connected. Also keep the doors and the windows shut. That's very important because of the winds. You should switch off all the electrical mains as well as the gas supply in your homes, in your shops, in your factories. Please do not take shelter in damaged buildings during the time of a cyclone. You should prepare an emergency kit with food and ready medical supplies. That is something in a state of panic. We are not trying to create panic here, but just telling you how to be safe during the impending cyclone Michaung. Our second story that the South Indian has brought to you today, it's of course a fact that the Congress has won Telangana, and what a victory it has been, and the BRS after 2 terms is now out. What about the BJP? Well, that's a story that needs to be watched and followed. You know something, the BJP was never in the reckoning in Telangana. It was always a 2-party contest between the Congress and the ruling Bharat Rashtra Samiti, and the result of course went thumpingly in favor of the Congress party. But like I said, the story is about the rise of the BJP in Telangana. It's been a quiet rise, almost unnoticed by many. But here we shall speak about it because the party has the talent of building on what is often a very thin surface. That's the Bharatiya Janata Party for you. From 1 seat in 2018 to 7 in 2023. From a vote share of 6.98 approximately to almost 14% is something to be watched out for. Let me add that many bigwigs lost the elections. Bandi Sanjay lost, Itala Rajender lost, Soyam Bapurao lost, Dharmapuri Arvind lost, M. Raghunandan Rao, he also lost. But the biggest win was in Kamareddy of one man called K. Venkata Ramana Reddy, who vanquished 2 titans, KCR as well as Revant Reddy.
जी, मैं उसको मामूली अभ्यर्थी जैसा देखा था, मामूली कैंडिडेट जैसा देखा था. उन दोनों को सीएम है, सीएम होने वाला है, सीएम है बोल के मैं नहीं देखा. मैं टीआरएस कैंडिडेट, कांग्रेस कैंडिडेट से लड़ रहा हूँ. मैं बीजेपी कैंडिडेट हूँ. मैं लड़ लिया, अपना आम आदमी पूरा अपन को सपोर्ट करा, जिताया और जीत लिया. बस उतना ही, इससे ज्यादा कुछ भी नहीं है. उन लोगों को वो सीएम है, ये सीएम है बोल के नहीं सोचा कभी भी. दे आर नॉर्मल कैंडिडेट्स. गवर्नमेंट जो भी रहने दीजिए, राज्यांग राजनीति में राज्यांग उसमें क्या है, अभी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी का अलोकेशन फंड अलग ही रहता. उसमें डबल पीएचडी पढ़ने वाले को ज्यादा देते, अगर अंगूठी छाप वाले को कम देते बोल के नहीं रहता. कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी परेड कैपिटल बोल के रहते. वो परेड कैपिटल के लिए जैसा जितना आने का है, जो भी रहने दो, मैं रहने दो, दूसरा रहने दो, वो आते रहता. इसके वजह से गवर्नमेंट कुछ भी होने दो, जो गवर्नमेंट में रहता उसका ही डेवलपमेंट है होता बोले तो अगला दिन में कामारेड्डी में उन लोग नहीं जीतना. अगर काम करे तो ना जीतेगा. अगर काम नहीं करा, मैं पब्लिक को बोल देता हूँ, इन लोग काम नहीं करने दे रहा, नहीं कर रहा बोल के. हमारा को सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट है, फिर स्टेट को नहीं देते सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट.
This Reddy Garu has made some very, very interesting points indeed. Now, meanwhile, the BJP has made major gains in northern Telangana. Let's now understand this silent revolution brewing within Telangana and the BJP. Joining me to speak more on this, K.S. Prasad, senior political analyst, is with us. Mr. Prasad, a very warm welcome to you. Mr. Prasad, you know this Ramana Reddy, what we heard, I mean, he speaks very well. What is the reason you think that he could vanquish both incumbent Chief Minister Revanth Reddy and the outgoing Chief Minister KCR Garu?
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening to the panelists and good evening to the viewers. Ma'am, the thing is, in Telangana, people's verdict was very clear and evident. They want change of faces, not change of governments. We might have heard about the Paramananda Sishul Kada in Telugu stories. The same story, if we really look into the ways in practical ways, KCR has done it. Instead of changing 50 candidates, he has gone for the election and he has paid the penalty.
Okay.
In the process, the last time the 6% vote bank of BJP, overnight the government anti-incumbency vote bank and Congress incapability vote bank, they gained to 16%. This is quite this thing. And another thing, the original ability of Congress has not raised more than 40%. All the play as far as exit polls are concerned, pre-polls are concerned, surveys are concerned, anything if you take, they play below the 40%. And the original ability in between 43 to 45% as BRS has shrunk to 41 or 40, and just the elections verdict is concerned, the variation is only just below 2%, 1.8 to 2%. So instead of giving consent to the people, instead of changing the faces with aggression, it is not aggression, it's the headweight with the election, what BRS has gone and paid the penalty. If they would have changed 30 to 40% people's faces, it's a matter of fact.
Mr. Prasad, we have seen how the BJP did very well in GHMC, in Huzurabad. They did very well. So there was some hope for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And now you see from 1 to 7, like for instance, if you want to analyze, the headline is that for BRS, it was anti-incumbency, arrogance, dynastic politics. If you look at the Congress, it was the rise of Revanth Reddy. He evolved, that man evolved. It was the win in Karnataka, it was 6 guarantees. So far as the BJP is concerned, Mr. Prasad, what is the reason you think? It is because both of them were inefficient, that's why they rose? It cannot be, no? There is to be something extra.
New faces. New faces. If you really look into the way, all the existing faces like Idal Rajendra, Dubag Raghunandana, Bandi Sanjay, whomever you name it as, they're all expired faces. The faces the new faces what BJP has won, all are new candidates against the old MLAs. We are quite unfortunately, we have been tolerating the existing MLAs. Maybe the parties, I don't want to name the parties, they are from Telugu Desam, Congress and right now BRS. We have been entertained from years together. That is what the biggest challenge for the people in Telangana. They want to get rid of the faces. Whomever the parties are given the new faces, fortunately they have all the people have won from the respective places. BRS has tried with 4 to 5 pieces for new faces, they won it. Congress has experimented more than 14 plus new faces, they won it. BJP is also experimented with new faces, they won it. This is what the new logic of Telangana.
All right. Now I want to also, a lot of analysts are saying that BJP has done very well in northern Telangana. Can you explain it to the people as to what is it? Is it because of the bordering states? Is it because of the impact of the bordering states? Or is it that their kind of ideology has actually worked in northern Telangana?
Yeah, if you really look into the national wide, like Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, the tolerance for both Viru and Jay, as far as Digvijay Singh and Kamal Nath is concerned, people are thoroughly annoyed with their faces, and there is no new strategies as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned. Even they given the chance to Congress, they don't know how to consolidate the government, and they don't to take forward. instead of taking forward, they are happily giving it to the BJP. That's what Digvijay Singh has done last time. And Digvijay Singh, instead of entertaining the new faces and new young generations, he, instead of giving a chance to the new generations, he himself proved by getting third marriage, and he's proved that I am also young and dynamic. This is what the new development in Madhya Pradesh. So the tolerance for Congress has become zero, and they don't want to entertain the new faces and new generations. Viru and Jay continues for years to with either you or me like that. So that's what the excuse has not been considered by people of Madhya Pradesh, and they have not tolerated Congress. Coming into the Rajasthan, again Gehlot is making all sort of moves.
What about northern Telangana? Why do you think that the BJP has a kind of a dominance in this area, sir?
No, yeah. If you really look at it, northern Telangana, the Hinduism, particularly Nizamabad and Adilabad, the Muslim communal rights and other things are concerned, it has given a huge impact. And apart from all that, the Congress has also experimented with the new old faces, and even BRS has also experimented with the new old faces. And so the opportunity has been given it to the BJP, and the candidates who are all won in the respective constituencies, there is no opportunity for BRS to rise. And the vote bank has consolidated, and they don't want to give more for BRS. Congress, they don't want to take a chance on Congress as far as northern Telangana is concerned. If you really look at it, Dakshin Telangana, Khammam, Nalgonda, Warangal and Mahbub Nagar on an aggregate 10 seats have been captured by Congress. Where it comes to there is a vital chance for BRS. Instead of that, the people's tolerance is not at all there on Congress and BRS. That's why the emerged candidates have been given opportunity. And local dominations are played a vital role, particularly in Kamareddy. The KCR and as well as Ravant Reddy, both are outsiders. Right. The local flavor is enhanced and has given Lakshmanan Reddy has won the battle.
Right. So also in northern Telangana, they say that, you know, the BC and the SC community, some of the voters from that community were very undecisive about who should they go for, because they felt cheated by the BRS, and the Congress they felt was an unknown entity. You know, it does not, for a lot of young voters, the Congress is an unknown party. Therefore, they say that in northern Telangana, a lot of the BJP got more votes. Would you agree with this, Mr. Prasad, with this theory?
The presence of Congress in the history of entire Telangana. I'm talking. I have statistics from 1983. Before that, also, the 1956, the Andhra people have joined with Telangana. Since then, 52 constituencies, there is no presence for Congress. This is what their original data. This is entire. This thing is on that from Adilabad, Nizamabad, Karimnagar, and what do you call Medak districts are concerned. Out of 6 districts of Northern states are concerned, they have never have their presence in respect to 52 constituencies. So that was the vital chance which was utilized by BRS, and they are used to get a lot of success. But the tolerance for people with the old faces, they have seen BJP's new faces and local flavor are added, and that's why they have enhanced it to 8 seats in northern Telangana.
So do you think that also, you know, when Prime Minister Modi spoke about that if the BJP comes to power in Telangana, we shall root for a BC chief minister, then the subcategorization of the Madigas, the Mallas, all these things also helped, you think, in northern Telangana amongst this particular community? If you really want to deep dive, did it matter?
No, ma'am. I won't agree with it, because the role of Narendra Modi, if he gives a false promises, particularly to the BC chief minister and all, the BC candidates, both as far as the eligible candidates like Ital Rahendra and Bandi Sanjay itself has gone from that case. So, and before that, Telugu Desam was also experimented with R. Krishnaigar. He's the tallest personality in BC, and all people will respect him as a god in that community, and he has given almost 1 crore plus people education and as well as helping in employment and all. And that credibility person itself is not being considered in Telangana. If somebody promises for BJP, it is BC, particularly from BJP, Narendra Modi, that will not come into this. So, and particularly the Madiga community, Kharge itself has announced that we are giving concerned letters and all, whatever you name it, just give an ordinance as far as the SC/ST bifurcation is concerned. Even after it is a false promise from BJP, that is being quite aware of in Telangana, and we are all been seeing this. The one and only reason the anti-incumbency and certain promises absolutely not fulfilled in the respective territories, and non-existence of Congress at around 52, where BRS has enhanced previously. Now people want a change.
I understand.
Fortunately, in all those areas, BJP has given a new faces with the respectability in ground level, whatever the work they have done. Then they got considerations around 8 seats.
Mr. Prasad, I
Other
understand.
than
Yeah, I understand
yeah,
that
other than that,
BJP.
Raja Singh is the one and only man who has won
Gosha
from this
Mahal,
side,
yes.
and the others given are from that place.
Yeah, Raja Singh winning Gosha Mahal, of course, despite all the hate speeches, good for him. But I want to ask you that, you know, Mr. Prasad, that I understand what you're saying, that the BJP came up as an alternative. People were tired of the BRS, the Congress has no presence. So the BJP looked like a credible party that northern Telangana should be voting for, and therefore the BJP's quiet rise, as it were. I want to ask you, the win of the BJP across North India is also being seen because of two reasons. One is Hindutva, their assertiveness so far as Sanatana Dharma, other aspects are concerned, and number two is welfare schemes. Do you think these two may also have worked in northern Telangana, the Hindutva at least?
Yeah, there are some percentage of people who belongs to Guptas and some what do you call Maharashtra Brahmin community is also there in that particular territory. And apart from that, Telangana, some forward caste people are also so concerned, and as you said, that Hindutva and Sanatan Dharmas and all, they are quite attracted with BJP. That I can assure. And particularly Dharampur Arvind from Nizamabad and Adilabad, the way he is giving some presence as far as Hindutva is concerned, that has really helped, because he happened to be an MP for that particular territory, and he has given his flowers, and that was the reason, and it has got some opportunity for BRS to flourish as far as northern Telangana is concerned.
Do you think that the BJP will in the future also try and build on its silent rise, or you think this is just a flash in the pan and that's it? It is just nothing will happen after this.
No, ma'am. The opportunity, if you give it to BJP, they are just like, you know, they'll put first a small fort, and with that they'll make a huge impact.
True.
If you really look into the West Bengal, there is no presence at all. Now, right now, the 30 years, who has ruled Congress and CPI, CPM, where their presence is. That's how the logical political system, what they develop in particular states, if they give and if they got opportunity. If people will give an opportunity, if they take opportunity, the way they come into the power within a span of 1 to next election and another election, their tolerance will be there, and after that they'll definitely form the government. I've seen what do you call Assam and Tripura, how they started working, and particularly in Uttar Pradesh with RSS background and all. Once they started stepping into that state, there is no alternative. They will.
All right. Now
they will
you
not
know.
give any opportunity for the oppositions.
Right. We were playing all the big wigs, you know, who've lost the election, and also that one man, Ramana Reddy, who won the election, amongst other people also who have won. Look at those faces. I want to ask you, this man right now on your screen, Bandi Sanjay Kumar. Mr. Prasad, do you think that it was a big mistake on the part of Telangana BJP to have replaced this man with Kishan Reddy, Mr. Prasad?
Absolutely, ma'am. I fully agree with you. He's just like our grandfathers, like forefathers, who sits with two. पौधा के लिए वो जो लोग तरसते हैं ना, पौधा जो बड़ा होके the results obviously the next generations will take the same way. The Bandi Sanjay, the efforts with a lot of padayatras and all, BJP is right now in the entire state. Previously, it was just like a mirror reflection to the Musi River. Their presence is always 1 or 2 states where they used to contest, and with the help of MIM, Kishan Reddy and Dattatreya used to win the battles.
Right.
Other than that, there is no presence at all. This man has created wonders for BJP by making a sense in all the places with the smell and fragrance of that flower. Really is because of Bandi Sanjay.
All right, and on that note, thank you so much, Mr. K.S. Prasad, senior political analyst, joining me to understand the rise, the quiet rise, but a rise of the BJP in Telangana. He decoded it for us and he said, of course, there's been a rise, and this rise will further be more projected as the days and the years go by. And with that, the South Indian says goodbye for now, but I'm going to be back tomorrow with loads of stories with focus on all the South Indian states. Until then, vanakkam, stay well.
He thought he could outlast us. In 1 year,